All right, Lotta, here's how we start the show these days. We do a little bit of a vocal warm up, just to get the pipes opened up. So today we're going to sing from The Sound of Music, Do a Deer. Are you ready? You can join me or
Okay,
not
okay, I'll
join
start.
me. It's up to you. This is how we open now.
Yeah.
So,
Go with the air.
Do a deer, a female deer, ray a drop of golden sun. Me a name I called myself, far a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. Yeah, I'll stop there. You see, already, I'm just opened up. I'm opening up the instrument of my voice for the podcast. One day, someone's going to
I,
join me on this.
I'm glad to hear it.
Well, hello and welcome to Leagues Ahead. It's the vodcast of the Arena Gauntlet League where we preview tournaments and mechanics that are fresh out of the oven. And I'm your host, Christopher York. I am the founder of the AGL and tournament organizer. Today, I have a very special guest. I have Lotta P coming to us all the way from the plane of what looks to be Neon Dynasty Kamigawa in the background. And Lotta's going to talk to us about our new tournament, which is Lorwyn Eclipsed. Hello, Lotta.
Hello to Chris. Excited to get into it.
Let's get into the flavor first, because you and I are flavor heads. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about what does Lorwyn Eclipsed as a set mean to us?
Yeah, so it's really interesting because like it's a throwback set or like a return set, but to like some like super ancient set, like way before I started playing, and I've been playing for an embarrassingly large part of my life, but at this point, so um, uh, it's kind of interesting in that way, and it's all about this plane like Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, and they used to like change every year or every 100 years at some point, but now they're really merged together. So there's like some areas you go into Lorwyn, and then there's like a shimmering veil, and if you go into it, then you go to Shadowmoor instead. But like people in Lorwyn, Shadowmoor, I think are not really aware that there are two planes and those two dualities that are in there, or like they're usually like kind of vaguely aware, I think. And then there's like all kinds of like there's like 5 to 8 major species that are there, no humans, but like Kitkin and Merfolk and stuff, and says a lot about the tribal teams going on there, and a lot about like the duality between day and night.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing when the original came out. I
Hmm.
took some breaks since then, but I remember it hitting me as really strange. It was like the Celtic mythology thing was interesting. There's lots of kind of underexplored things like, who knew what a Selkie was, really, unless you were from that area. There's a few like folk songs that mention Selkie, but it's not in our modern vernacular. There might have been a horror movie about a Selkie in recent years, but that's not really here nor there. And I also like so flavor wise, it was like coming from a kind of weird left field place. It was the first set before Bloomborough. There was the original Lorwyn where there were no humans, which was
Hmm.
novel for the time because there was with the creature type update, everything was a human all of a sudden. I think that Wizards kind of freaked out and they thought, oh my god, humans is the most busted tribe. We need to correct this by having new sets with no humans. And this was like one of the first ones they came out with. I remember also mechanically coming after Ravnica's City of Guilds, thinking, well, how can they do an 8 faction uh, set with um, you know there being 5 colors. How does that work? Well, they spread the elementals around and the changelings around all the colors, and the tree folk were 3 colors, and it was like I think you'd have to be a mathematician to really appreciate what they did to make all of those 8 tribes work in the set. And then they added on, Shadowmoor afterwards and said, okay, this is like the inverse. Everything that you've enjoyed about Lorwyn, well, now it's the opposite. It's spooky. It's not cheery. It's not pastoral. It's horror. And I do
Mm.
want to talk a little bit about the return to that with this set. It seems like Wizards, they've abandoned the block structure in their sets. And so we don't have time to go to Lorwyn and Shadowmoor as different sets. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in a pot and stir it. And we're going to release this as one set. And to me, again, this is the flavor side, it makes the Plane of Lorwyn more horrific than ever. Like,
Sure, I can see that.
because before, right? I mean, think about this. Like, if you're a werewolf, you know when you're going to change
Yeah,
from
yeah,
a
yeah.
human to a werewolf. You can predict when your identity is
Mhm.
challenged or threatened or abandoned. In this new presentation of Lorwyn Shadowmoor, it's just random. You don't know when you're going to come across a pocket of another dimension and stop being you.
Mhm.
Which, if you think about it, is actually
Yeah,
just way more
it really,
terrifying than not
like
knowing.
maybe our it also works this way. Like we just like have our whole dream selves that are very different, but it will be hard to disprove.
Well, this is my pre-tournament self, and in a week or two or 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna have the post-tournament self, and we'll compare, and we'll see if it's
Yeah.
really as harrowing as I
Well,
thought.
I hope that you'll stay in the tournament for more than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, my this is my out tournament self. This is my in tournament self. Then it'll be an out tournament self again. It's a lot like Lorwyn Shadowmoor. All right, so
Sure. Yeah.
obviously we're talking about the Arena Gauntlet League here and how the Arena Gauntlet League is taking the tournament mechanics and sort of like wrapping them around the flavor of this set. So we definitely wanted to take account of the duality of the set and reflect those in the tournament mechanics. So some people may not know, like, game design is one thing. We let Wizards make the cards, of course. We generously allow them to do that. And we design the tournaments where those cards are used.
Mhm.
Now, Lata, I'm going to let you have the honor and the privilege of spoiling our main mechanic. Like, how did we reflect the duality of Lorwyn Shadowmoor in the tournament mechanics?
Yeah. All right. So we wanted to do a design that was like not too complicated. It's like to understand coming off Avatar League. But I think this still actually turned out to be like a bit of a doozy in like how extremely impactful it will be. So what the deal is with Lorwyn Shadowmoor, everyone's going to have two pools, a Lorwyn pool and a Shadowmoor pool. You play your Lorwyn pool on weeks 1, 3, and 5, and you play your Shadowmoor pool on weeks 2, 4, and 6. So you'll play half, or like a little more than half probably for most people, of your matches with Lorwyn pool and the rest with the Shadowmoor pool. Um, and then whenever you lose a match, um, you get not one but two comeback packs, and you choose which of your comeback packs to assign to each pool. So you can like try and think like, oh, does this like synergize better with my Lorraine deck, or does this synergize better with what my Shadowmoor deck is doing? Um, and then also, there's one more element to this. Um, like all the comeback packs are Lorwyn Eclipsed. But that's not the case for the starting pools. The Lorwyn starting pool is all Lorwyn Eclipsed, but the Shadowmoor starting pool is all bundled up. That's um, 6 packs, one from each, from one different set, specifically from Edge of Eternity, Starkey Dragonstorm, Aether Dragons Foundations, Duskmourn, and Bloomburrow. So you start with a total Chaos pool for the Shadowmoor, and you have to like assign the Lorwyn Eclipse packs to like make that pool grow.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's our concept there.
Well, that's the vodcast then. Thank you. Uh,
Um, we considered so many variations on this. Oh my god.
oh, I know, I
Uh,
know. We should say, like, going into this. Usually there's a lead designer, but I think that everybody on the LC, including yourself, Lotta, had more or less things to say about where this mechanic would go. I think everybody was on board with duality. And then from there, it really became a lot of fine tuning of all the different dials that we could fine tune, right? So the concept in itself looks pretty simple. You've got two buckets, right? People have been looking for multiple entry leagues for the longest time, right? Can I buy two entries and have two different pools? Yes, you can, and this time it's just for the price of one entry, but you can only use one at a time, right? So you have weeks 1, 3, 5, which is your mono set Lorwyn deck, right? Which is going to appeal to the purists out there who just want to play with the new set. And then for the people like myself who enjoy a bit of chaos, you've got your Shadowmoor mess, which is played on weeks 2, 4, and 6. And that's all offset, and then it slowly becomes more like Lorwyn Eclipsed by adding punishment packs. And so, if every loss generates two packs now instead of one, and you decide which bucket to drop those new cards into. So,
I'm really interested. I'm really, really, really curious to see what people think of this. Because like it also it's like um it makes that you have to put like more effort into the league, right? You have to build two decks, and then well, I guess you also have to assign your packs to two pools, which might also take a little more time. So I'm really interested to see what people think of this.
yeah.
So like, go and clog up that league crafting thread.
Well, the thing is, like the idea is simple and easy to get, and novel in that we've never done it before, but the strategic implications are fairly meaty, right? So, unlike say, like for example, in our last league, your last full league, Avatar, you know, there were lots and lots of rules that were week specific, and for example, Adam had to sort of parse Jordan's rules out in announcements, right, to the league and say, this week, remember that we're doing X, Y, and Z. Remember that next week we're doing 1, 2, and 3, right? Just to keep everybody on the rails. There'll be less hand holding in this league, but the mental load, it's sort of, let's say, burdened on the players. They have to have the strategic decisions to make on every loss.
Yeah.
So I think that we've done more effortful leagues, right? So if you looked at last leagues behind, we covered Lord of the Rings, and I think
Hmm.
every week we had people rebuild everything, sometimes multiple times.
Oh yeah, totally.
But so I think like this is somewhere this hits the sweet spot for me. Like every loss is more meaningful than usual, which I think kind of takes the sting out of losing, which is kind of the point of the pack mechanic.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
it gives you a, instead of focusing on the loss, you focus on how you can make two decks better, which to me,
Hmm.
like, that gives you hope and motivation to kind of get back there into the fray. Gosh. Yeah, I do think, like, there will be times where, even though there's no faction mechanic for this league, you're going to want to take advice from your fellow league players. So I'm hoping that some sort of, like, there's a reason to talk to other players because of how strategically taxing the decision is.
Absolutely, yes. And I am really, yeah, there's so many things going on. Like, how much long-term planning do you do? Like, do you like try and steer the Lorwyn deck, for example, try to make it very synergistic, and then if you get a pack just as a big bomb, um, do you put that in the Shadowmoor pool, or do you just like try to take your decisions one at a time? Okay, well, make my current decks better. Do you try to focus on one deck over the other? Do you lock in colors, or do you try to keep yourself open to what you open? Like there are um, many different paths to take. So that's is kind of interesting. Like I think strategically, it's really unclear for me what the best meta level approach is, let alone like how you like actually implement that when you um, get to your tour packs.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think, like, a lot of it will depend on what you're dealt, so to speak. To be honest, I mean, Wizards just blasted us with a cannon of cards. On Friday, they released the whole set finally, and I, for one, haven't had a chance to parse it fully. I don't know what it's going to be like playing in that environment. I don't know how these cards are going to work together
Hmm.
yet. It's going to be largely an exploration, and I don't know how on the Shadowmoor deck side of things, I don't even know how the last six sets of universes within are going to play together because
We'll see.
that format is completely new as well, right? So we had some debate. I pitched some fuzzy, cutesy, pastoral themes like Eldraine, Throne of Eldraine, Bloomburrow, maybe Duskmourn in there, and a couple of others. Maybe Amonkhet Remastered for the -1/-1 counters synergies. But we decided that as a committee, wisdom prevailed that these sets were probably in the whole a bit too weak. And
Yeah.
then the counter offer came. Well, let's use the last six universes within. Now, flavor wise, this is deep chaos because we're going from outer space to a drag race to a plane full of furries and furry animals. Sorry, not furries. It's a different. That's a different plane. But
I mean, space is dark and there are omen paths. It'll be fine. It'll be
it'll be
totally
fine.
fine.
Omen paths. That's what Wizards does. Just omen paths. Um, but for example, like I don't know if anybody has played Bloomburrow with Ether Drift, like we're going to be playing it in the
That's true. We'll
you,
see.
you
I
know
am kind of like interested to see like if we get like change-link synergies like with the Bloomberg things. I think it will be a little rare, but it might happen. Probably will happen.
mice and
Like
race cars. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
with them.
Yeah,
It will totally be fine. Someone will make a black fairy deck that will like be able to like start your engines in no time. Like chip in for the 1 damage every time.
sure,
It
sure.
work.
I mean, I don't know. That's really it. That's the set. We spoiled the entire tournament mechanic. Like I remember with I was talking to Jordan about Avatar. We had to spend like very close to an hour going through all the different and I had to sort of like move the show along. I feel like this time we should just let the tournament almost speak for itself, Lotta.
Well, there's one more thing. The Mecha Drafts.
Oh, the Mega Draft. We almost forgot the Mega Draft. For those not familiar with our format, a Mega Draft is six packs, usually from different sets, which happen at the finals of the tournament. And if you are one of the lucky top eight, you'll get to draft your way, or top 16, I think, actually, this time. You get to draft your way into a Mega Draft and hopefully come out with the league champion title.
Yes. And for this Mecha Draft, we're actually doing two Mecha Drafts, a Lorwyn Mecha Draft and a Shadowmoor Mecha Draft. And the Lorwyn Mecha Draft has six packs. They both have six packs. And Lorwyn is Eclipse, Tarkir Dragonstorm, Eclipse, Foundations, Eclipse, Bloomburrow. And Shadowmoor is Eclipse, Acts Fraternities, Eclipse, Aether Drift, Eclipse, Duskmourn. So the more fantasy things are on the Lorwyn side, and the more, let's call it, edgy things are on the Shadowmoor side. Um, and all in both cases, the odd packs are Lorwyn Eclipsed. And how it will work is that, well, the top the top player, like the pennant winner, will get to choose which Mega Drive to go in first, and then the second ranked player, etc. And we're doing it secretly, like to prevent like much discussion about like, oh, which is strategically better, like which people do we want to be in. Like we want to like just let people choose which sets they would like to draft with. Yeah, and then there's a grand finals between our Lorwyn champion, our Shadowmoor champion for a league title.
So they'll keep their decks from those drafts, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
this kind of mirrors the Spider-Man Heroes versus Villains sort of finals mechanic in that you have two top eights, and they're both kind of feeding into a finals, which isn't necessarily a separate event, but more just a one-off. And that's just a best of three for the ultimate fight, or is it the best of five or
Best of five for the
yeah?
ultimate fight. Yeah.
That makes sense
It's kind of
given the stakes.
You know what's kind of interesting is that with this format, that it's also a little bit easier, I think, to switch someone if like the timing doesn't work out. Like we've been having a decent amount of issues with that over the last year when there's like eight specific people who need to get there, and then we have people from
Hmm.
the US and Canada, and people from Europe, and people from like Asia and Australia and New Zealand, all needing to get in the around at the same time. So maybe this will lighten the tension a little bit in that regard, but we'll see. Hopefully, it just won't be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, given that we've have generally seen a trend of fairly large growth over the last few tournaments. What's your on air prediction for the final play number for Lorwyn Eclipsed?
Well, I made my 2026 bingo card, and there was 300 player league was one of the things that were on there. But I can actually I'm going to cheat. What I'm going to do is because we just opened registrations like a little under 24 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we're now at, or like before the podcast started, we were at 52 registrations. And for the last Airbender, um, like at the same time, we were at less than that. So I'm going to quite a bit less actually. So I'm going to make the call. I'm going to make the call here. I think we're going to go over 300. I think this is going to be our largest tournament ever.
This is the one.
This is the one, yeah, yeah. Oh, maybe not necessarily over 300, but more than extra fraternities. And extra fraternity, I think at 250 something. So,
Well, I think
um,
people are happy to see Universes Within, and January is a great time to be playing magical cards for most people because of the bad weather. So maybe that's part of the explanation. And yeah, gosh, I'd love it if this was the one that blew the top off the 300 player cap.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, let's
yeah.
let's see. I'm not gonna make my guess quite yet, but if I was gonna be pessimistic, I would go under. I'd say if you guess 300, I guess
Oh, they're all
I
right.
guess 299. Just to be on the safe side of the Price is Right rules.
Right. Well, you owe me a beer at ATL Con or another drink if I'm right.
That's fair enough. I will accept that wager. Lotta, it's been a pleasure. Anything else we want to say before we sign off, or are we gonna just leave our players with tantalizing visions of two decks, two punishment packs, double the fun, double the planes in 2 weeks?
Well, I have like one more, but maybe that's like a question more
Oh,
for the audience and for you. Because what originally pitched for this league was almost vanilla league. So just like Lorwyn Eclipsed and then like get some random comeback packs from other sets, but no special mechanics other than that. So just like get your comeback pack and play. Do you think people like would be interested in that? Do you think like the server as a whole would be interested in that?
just a mono set with regular comeback packs, like going back, not even having like different comeback packs, just like
Yeah, maybe like what I'm envisioning is like for the playground league they did a thing where you get like one of a random selection of five or six sets, and like
mhm.
every time you get a different set. So maybe for this league, what you could have done is like, oh, take five sets that really match with Lorwyn, and five Lorwyn packs, and just like hustle them around, and you get one of those 10 every time for your comeback pack.
I don't know. We'll leave it to the people to maybe for the first time on Leagues Ahead, leave a comment.
Leave a comment
It's
in
a it's a
hashtag
it's a
Leafcraft.
call to action. Remember to like, subscribe, and promote on social
Who
media.
knows? All right.
All right, Lada. Thanks very
Uh,
much for your time. Looking forward to playing you in Lorwyn Eclipse League.
yeah.
Stay good.
Yeah. Stay good.